Welcome back to FM Storey. We're into the second half of this second season of the Glory Hunter, first with Bayern Munich, and things are going well. We've made it to the knockout stages of the Champions League. We're in the quarterfinal of the DFB Pokal, and we're 10 points clear at the top of the table as well. So it's looking good as far as the league is concerned. Coming up in this episode, we've got the quarterfinal of the DFB Pokal away at Werder Bremen. We've got the last 16 in the Champions League coming up as well. So without further ado, let's get into the action. It's time for the quarterfinal of the DFB Pokal. But before we get to that, we have had the January transfer window just close. We had done a bit of business early on in the transfer window when Baldanzi joined from Roma to strengthen the centre and midfield. The one concern we've had all season is about up front, because Harry Kane spent a lot of the time this season so far injured. And obviously Matisse Tel has come in and performed well when he's had to perform up front. But also, if something was then to happen to him, we were very, very, very short on players that could do a job through the middle. We didn't have much money left in the transfer budget after the Baldanzi signing, but we actually got a boost when Arsenal signed Joshua Zirkzee. So they signed him for 63 million from Bologna, and as part of the deal with Bologna signing him from Bayern Munich, we got half the money. We had 31.5 million added to the transfer budget. In the end, we went and gave that and a little bit more to Benfica for Marcus Leonardo. Obviously, from a football manager perspective, not quite as good as he was in FM24, but he'd scored 12 in 17 for Benfica. As you can see, he's got 1 and 1 for us. We ended the last episode at the end of January with the Champions League game against Shakhtar. We've played one game since then, which was against Werder Bremen, and we were rubbish in the first half. We were 2-0 down at half-time. Marcus Leonardo came off the bench and got his first goal for the club inside 6 minutes. But unfortunately, we couldn't get back on level terms. He's actually now out for I think 6 days to 2 weeks with a gashed leg. And so we've now lost our first game in any competition this season in the league. It cuts our lead at the top of the league 7 points. And basically, we've now got exactly the same game in the DFB Pokal quarterfinal away at Werder Bremen. So we go out looking for a bit of revenge. So this is the match we've picked for the quarterfinal. And we are a bit short in the centre of defence. In the Upper Meccano's now out for a couple of weeks. And Matthijs de Ligt is just coming back from injury and failed a fitness test. So we've gone with Stanisic alongside Kim Min-jae in the centre of defence. We've made a couple of other changes to the team. Musiala didn't start the league game because he was coming back from a knock, so he comes in. Mazraoui comes in instead of Baldanzi in centre midfield as well, and Sacha Boey starts at right back with Mazraoui moving into the midfield. So hopefully we can bounce back from that first defeat of the season in any competition and see our way through to the semi-final. Free kick, Sané to take, lifts it into the box. Kone got his head on it, but it just loops over the top. They've lifted a free kick into the box. Cross comes in low, and the shot's blocked at the near post. Corner for them now. Going to be swinging on the left foot. We've got a head on it, and a decent header as well. Right, Kim Min-jae, White, Alphonso Davies, who looks like he's struggling a bit. Koeman into Mazraoui. Boey on the overlap from the right. Pulls it back, looking for Mazraoui. Giving it away, and they've launched the ball long. But it's headed back to the keeper. And we come out again. Davies goes down the line to Koeman. He goes towards the byline. Pulls it into Mazraoui, across to Boey. and his shot hits the post and goes behind for a goal kick. Free kick for them. Oh, and Musiala's picked it up. Kane, Sané coming forward into the box on his right foot, gets it past the keeper and puts us 1-0 up in this quarter-final. Musiala intercepts the pass, finds Kane. He finds Sané, just drifts past his man on the edge of the area there. Shot gets a deflection off the defender, goes past the keeper and puts us 1-0 up. So we're already 2 injuries into the game. Alphonso Davies has had to go off injured. Kingsley Coman's had to go off injured. We've had to completely change that left-hand side of the pitch. But going into half-time, we're 1-0 up. Probably been pretty even, other than we've had the one shot on target, which was the goal. And we've had a bit more possession. But it's a better performance than we put in the first half of the league game a couple of days ago against Werder Bremen. So it's at least got that going for it. Very little happening so far in the second half. We're 20 minutes into it without a highlight. Guerrero with the throw. Mazraoui loses out. And they look to come forwards. And Jacobs in acres of space on that right-hand side. We're not getting close to them at all. Gnabry's got back to win that one. Finds Mazraoui. Finds Kane. Lovely ball out to the right to Sané. He pulls it back. And there's Mazraoui to sweep it home to make it 2-0. And hopefully that's enough to see us through to the semi-final. Kane just sprays the ball wide on the right-hand side to Sané. Lovely first touch. And just pulls the defenders across, squares it. And there's Mazraoui to sweep it in. And we're going to finish the game with 10 men because we've made our 5 subs and now Guerrero's gone off injured. So we might have a problem at left back in the coming games. Mazraoui wins the ball back, finds Gnabry. Mazraoui again. Into Baldanzi. Sasha Bowie. Thomas Muller. Infield to Kane. Comes through to Stanisic, who lets fly from the edge of the area, and the keeper turns it behind for a corner. And we're chewing up the injury time here. The game's almost over. The corner comes to the back post. It's headed clear. Bowie chasing it back. And there we go. Full time, 2-0 victory in the quarter-final. And we're through to the semi-final. It's time for the second leg of the Champions League last 16. We were drawn against Feyenoord. Things have been a bit up and down since the DFB Pokal match we saw against Werder Bremen. We started with a pretty comfortable 4-0 victory at home against Mainz. We were 4-0 up at half-time and just eased off a bit in the second half. Hoffenheim, in the next league game, we lost 2-1. They are the form team in the league. I think they're unbeaten in 11. But that then made it 2 defeats in 3 league games at that point. We then hammered Stuttgart 5-1 and hammered Heidenheim 5-0 at home as well. The first leg against Feyenoord, we weren't very good. We took a lead. They equalised before half-time. And in the end, Marcus Leonardo intercepted a short pass in the midfield, raced through and lifted it over the keeper to give us an injury time winner in the first leg, to give us a 1-goal advantage going into the second leg. And then the most recent game was a 0-0 draw away at Dortmund. And Dortmund were the better team. They had the most chances. We really looked like we were struggling in that game. But we got a bit of luck in that we played on the Saturday. We were 5 points clear of Leverkusen with their game to come in the weekend. But Leverkusen lost to Augsburg to maintain that 5-point gap. So we're 5 points clear with 9 games left to go in the league. We have had a few more injury problems since the DFB Pokal game. We lost Upamecano for a while, Rafael Guerreiro for a while. De Ligt's still being injured. Coleman's only just coming back. So we have had a few injuries and had to mix and match the squad. But as you can see, we don't really have too many doubts or issues going into the second leg against Feyenoord. And now we just need to make sure we don't lose this game so that we can make it into the quarter-final. So this is the side we've picked for the second leg. Upamecano's now back fit, so he's partnering Kim Min-jae in the centre of defence. De Ligt is available to play 45 minutes, so that's why he's on the bench. We've had a bit of success with the midfield three of Musiala, Goretzka and Kone, so we've stuck with that. And Koeman isn't quite fully fit, so we're sticking with Tel wide left and Kane through the middle. But Koeman obviously can come off the bench and hopefully, if we need him, cause some problems. Looking at the form that Feyenoord are in, they've lost 4 of the last 5 in all competitions. So hopefully we can avoid losing to them in this game and make it through to the quarter-final. So they've picked up a couple of early yellow cards. We've got a throw in their half. Alphonso Davies goes long down the line to Harry Kane, back to Matisse Tel, pulls it across to Goretzka. Musiala in the box, and the keeper turns it behind for a corner. Sané to take it from the right-hand side, lifts it in, headed up in the air. They'll have Kane back to Sané. It was in an offside position. Right, free kick for them. They go back and then drive forward with Hartmann. We've let him run a long way with the ball, but Davies gets across and then gives it away on the edge of our area. And we've already lost our advantage in the tie. We let Hartmann run and run and run. Davies gets across, cuts him off, and then just dinks the ball to the edge of our own area. And Liga, who scored for them in the first leg, gets a goal in the second leg as well to level it up at 2-2 aggregate. Right, free kick for them. They're having a lot of the ball. This time they lift it into the box to get a head on it. That must be onside as well. We're going to get a VAR check, but I don't think this could possibly be offside. And it's not. So they've just lifted it in. They've won a header. No one's tracked the man round the back. And now we're behind on aggregate. Right, from the kickoff, Kane to Kone, White to Tel. Upamecano bringing it forward now. Right, Sané. Back to Kim Min-jae. Tel into the box. Goes down, but now they're going to break. And they're getting numbers forward quickly. And we're struggling to get back here. I mean, as soon as they won the ball back, it looked like they were going to score. But just it looks like the Champions League dream could be coming to an end rather quickly. And there we have a player sent off just to complete the first half there. There we go, half time, 3-0 down, 4-2 down on aggregate. And that is about as bad as the first half could have possibly gone. And we've got some serious issues here. Right, so we made a couple of changes at half-time, including in goal, because Atibolu had a bit of a stinker in that first half. We've brought Kingsley Coman on. We've brought Max Leonardo on. Right. Mazraoui wins the ball back. Sané in looking for Musiala. But now they're breaking again, and this is only going to end one way here, I think. Thank God that wasn't on target. Right, Sané lifts a free kick into the box. It's nodded down. And we've missed a sitter. Right, Goretzka loses out now. Upamecano wins it back. Over the top for Sané. Takes it down. Lovely. Just blasts it. Right, Nubel with a goal kick. Right, Upamecano wins it. Wide to Coman. Gets nowhere near the ball. And this game's over now. Right, Davies with a throw. Coman finds Davies in the box. Low cross. Looks like it's turned in by their defender. It makes it 3-1 on the night, 4-3 in aggregate. And with 10 minutes left, we're back in the game. I actually think even if he hadn't turned that in, I don't think Max Leonardo was turning it in. Right, 5 minutes to go plus injury time. Can we at least get another chance? Nope, they've got a free kick. They've gone for goal. We've turned it behind for a corner. Got a head on it. Still alive with them. And now they're just... thought they'd given it to us on the edge of the area. They've hit the post. We've got about 3.5 minutes of injury time. Conjure something up here, but if anything, it looks like they're more likely to get another one. Right. Right, so Coman gets it clear. Sané manages to keep it in, but nothing comes of it. And there we go, full time, 3-1 defeat, 4-3 on aggregate. And that is by far and away our worst performance of the season. And the Champions League dream is over for the season. So, it's the end of March, and our up and down form has continued post-humiliating Champions League exit against Feyenoord. First game after that, we played Cologne and hammered them 6-0, and think, you know what? The Feyenoord game was a blip, one-off. Then we went away to Union Berlin, and were truly dreadful in the first half. We did manage to pull a goal back before half-time to make it 2-1. And then in the second half, we wasted chance after chance after chance. And ended up coming away with a 2-1 defeat. So what that means going into the sort of end of the season, we are 5 points clear of Leverkusen with 7 games left. Slightly concerning factor, given our recent form, is we do have Leverkusen to play in the league. We've got Leipzig to play in the league as well before the end of the season. So we've got some big games in the league. We've also got coming up pretty quickly in the next episode, the semi-final of the DFB Pokal against Hertha Berlin. So that's going to be a big game as well. I mean, obviously we're already out of the Champions League, so we don't have any European football to be concerned about. So there we are, the end of another episode, and I have to say, slightly disappointing episode. Our form has kind of really dipped. We are still in the DFB Pokal. We're in the semi-final of that. We're still top of the table. We're 5 points clear at the top of the table, but we've got some big games left before the end of the season. And that exit in the Champions League was just humiliating, really. Big episode coming up, starting with the DFB Pokal, and hopefully we can wrap up the league title as well. If we do pick up the league title and the DFB Pokal, obviously we'll have that thought process about whether we stay with Bayern Munich, because the only thing we would be able to win with them for the rest of the season would be the Champions League. It is a squad that should do much better in the Champions League than we've done this season. A lot of what we do will obviously depend on if any other jobs open up at the end of the season as well. But going into the final part of the season, we're in a strong position in the 2 domestic trophies. So hopefully we can secure those. Join us next time to see if we can do that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.